What's up, guys, and welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. Kaori Knight, here to give you proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. We are on book 2 for Alien Paradiso, and let me tell you, things get very, very intense. So everybody's still in the room after the chestbuster literally exploded this man that was supposed to come meet Ricky Valentine, and there were also chestbusters that exploded out of the crew that came with him. They died on the ship. He died inside of the actual resort. And there, of course, is a media blackout. We have the two marshals that are there that are supposed to be spying on him. Everybody's kind of just locked in where they are. A little boy, the same little boy who was looking for animals on the island, him and his mom go up to their room, and this was after the chestbuster, so I don't actually think that they were in the dining room at the time. I think that they were out elsewhere because, again, he was looking for animals, so I think he was like elsewhere. But the chestbuster actually is under his bed, so it's very safe to assume that the boy and his mother are definitely dead. Everybody else is in the room, and Ricky is, of course, pissed off because they're trying to leave. But, of course, it is a lockdown. Dash and the other woman, who is the marshal, whose name escapes me because, you know. They're like, okay, so we have a media blackout. There's nothing going on. Nobody's saying anything. And so, because he knows the owner, Carlito, he's literally on the radio. Ricky's on the radio screaming for Carlito, and Carlito is just like, ignore him. We need to get this under control. So they are checking with their security about what happened on the ship. So they are seeing the dead bodies of the people who were on the ship. All of their chests are burst open, and then they end up getting attacked and killed by the grown Xenomorphs that are in there. Of course, they do hear the people screaming, but they don't see what's going on. So when they finally do pan that camera, they see the tail end of one of the Xenomorphs, and of course he's freaking out about that. And Sula is actually getting incredibly paranoid, and she goes into the kitchen and starts picking up all of the sharp objects that she can find and brings them back to the table and is like, you know, pick a weapon. And he's like, you're getting kind of paranoid. And I think she has a right to, honestly, because several years earlier, when she's a little girl, her father was on a Wayland ship and had apparently died, and one of the Wayland insurance representatives showed up and was like, I mean, we're really sorry that he died or whatever the fuck, but we can't pay you any more than what his personal insurance policy was, because we are not liable for whatever happened up there. That sounds very familiar, don't you think? So her mother is obviously upset, and she's like, you know, don't ever let nobody fuck with you, bro. So of course, she very much has the right to be paranoid, because they're literally all just like, we just watched that man explode. What are you talking about? On top of that, the staff is told that whoever brings the animal that bursts out of that man's chest, they get their entire contract paid out in full. So, of course, one of them is just all superhero, and they have the pool nets, shit that they use to get leaves and stuff out of the pool. They have those as means to capture said animal. Now, everybody is still in this room. Ricky goes over to the bar, and while he's over there talking at the bar, a Xenomorph shows up. The same one that burst out of that man's chest, because nothing has left. Well, that's not true. I want to say it's a different one. It might be the same one. It might have come down from when it killed the boy and just come back down through the vents, because it escaped through the vent in the first book, and then it comes back in. So we're going to say that it's the same one. it hasn't gone anywhere. So it comes through the vent and it starts like dripping its like gross slime spit on his face. And everyone is like in instant panic. It literally breaks some guy's neck and starts chewing on another person. And Sula, of course, does protect Ricky because that is her job. And after like everybody's like panicking, trying to get to the door, trying to get out of the door, they're literally locked in this room. And while all of this is happening, the two, Dash, actually, because Ricky's over still by the bar, Dash goes, Valentine, hit it with the vodka. And he's like, what the hell did he just say? Oops. And so Sula snatches the vodka from him, throws the vodka on the Xenomorph. They throw lighters on it, set it on fire, and it like bursts through the door because it's on fire. And they're like, well, like we didn't kill it, but we definitely scared it off. And he's like, you know, great job, team. And then they hold them at like knife point, basically, and are like, now tell me how the hell it is that you know who I am. Very, very valid question. Now, one thing I do hate is when like little kids are involved in things like this, because they are quite literally just innocent bystanders when it comes to things like this. So knowing that he definitely died is really sad. However, it does do a really good job of pushing the story along, and the art in here is still really good. The story pushing along, them giving themselves away on accident is crazy, because honestly, what else could you have said? I don't know if, hey, throw the vodka would have worked. Honestly, it may have, if they were really thinking, but getting his name, like, it was literally just like an accidental call out, because they're panicking and people are literally dying and about to die. So they're just like, bro, you're the one by the bar, so, you know, hit it with the fucking vodka. But, you know, giving yourself away at such a time, it was not a good idea. Again, I am really enjoying this story. I thought this issue was an interesting issue. Giving some of Sula's background is interesting, considering she's on the cover of the second or of the third one. Giving her background is interesting. So she does have a connection with the Wayland Company in ways most people in these situations have, like, you know, are in contact or make contact with the Wayland Company. So of course, Wayland is a piece of shit place, like a piece of shit insurance company. But I really do like this, and I'm very interested to see where this goes, because again, they have Sula on the cover of the next one. I hope that she doesn't die. One of them literally like got acid sprayed in his eyes, and then that little mouth that comes out of the Xenomorph's mouth, big mouth, went through his brain. So I really hope that she doesn't die. I'm kind of like, she's not going to get out of this without getting injured, that's for sure. But giving her background in particular seems like a foreshadowing type thing. Not that she's going to die, but that she may be pretty important. So that was very interesting. That was a little interesting tidbit. So I'm really interested to see where this goes. And honestly, 20th Century is doing a really good job with these alien stories. So I am sat. And that is it, my favorite patients, for this episode of The Doctor's Office. And I will see you guys at your next checkup.